Greetings, everyone. Rev Sandy here for our Tuesday night bedtime stories and prayers. I'm so glad you're here with me tonight, and I'm going to share with you tonight a book called The Most Magnificent Thing. The Most Magnificent Thing. And it's written by Ashley Spires. Ashley Spires. So let's see what the most magnificent thing has to hold for us. This is a regular girl and her best friend in the whole world. They do all kinds of things together. They race and they eat. They explore and they relax. So there they are doing their everyday things together. I'm just going to check to make sure you can all hear me. Yep. So there they are doing things together. She makes things and she unmakes things. I bet you've done that before. Have you ever built something and then taken it apart? One day the girl has a wonderful idea. She is going to make the most magnificent thing. Magnificent. She knows just how it will work. She knows just how it will look. And all she has to do is make it. And she makes things all the time, so this is easy peasy. First, she hires an assistant. There happens to be one right there. Then they gather their supplies. They set up somewhere out of the way to get to work. That doesn't look so out of the way to me. And let's see, they've got all kinds of things there. Looks like there's nails and screwdrivers and cans and looks like an old cash register. I wonder what she's going to make with that, this most magnificent thing. The girl tinkers and hammers and measures while her assistant pounces and growls and chews. When she's finished, she steps back to admire her work. She walks around one side, and her assistant examines the other side. It doesn't look right. Her assistant picks it up and gives it a shake. It doesn't really feel right either. They are shocked to discover that the thing isn't magnificent at all, or even good. It isn't even kind of, sort of okay. It is all wrong. The girl tosses it aside and gives it another go. She smooths and wrenches and fiddles. Her assistant circles and tugs and wags. They are hard at work. When she's finished, she stands up and takes a long look, and her assistant gives it a nudge with his paw. The thing still isn't right. It's just wrong. So she decides she's going to try again. The girl saws and glues and adjusts, and she stands and she examines and she stares. It's a lot of work they're doing here. She twists and she tweaks and she fastens and she fixes and she straightens and she studies. She tries all different kinds of ways to make it better. She makes it square, she makes it round, she gives it legs, and she even gives it an antenna. Look at all those things, all those different things. Do they look magnificent to you? She makes it fuzzy. Oh, that's my favorite. She makes it long, short, rough, smooth, big, tall. One even smells like stinky cheese. But none of these creations are what she says is magnificent. I wonder how the one with stinky cheese got there. Her hard work attracts a few admirers, but they don't understand. They just can't see the magnificent thing she has on her mind. and she gets mad. The angrier she gets, the faster she works. She smashes pieces into shapes, and she jams the parts together, and she pummels the little bits in. Her hands feel too big to work, and her brain is too full of the not right things. If only the thing would just work. Have you ever felt like that? Great big cloud over your head? Just because something won't work the way you want it to? And then all of a sudden, crunch! And her finger gets stuck, and the pain starts in her finger, and it rushes up to her brain, and then she explodes. Not her finest moment. I'm no good at this. I quit. Her assistant suggests a walk. It's not much help at first, but before long, she starts to feel a little bit different. Have you ever done that? Just go for a walk when you're not feeling quite right? Bit by bit, the mad gets pushed out of her head. Oh, look at that. See, she's getting a cookie from the lady. I bet you that helped a lot. Cookies always help me feel better. As they stroll along, she comes across the first wrong thing she made, and the bad feelings are starting all over again. And then she notices something surprising. Look at all those things that she's made. Wonder what the surprising thing is. Oh, there are some parts of the wrong things that are actually really quite right. The bolts on one, the shape of another, the wheel to seat ratio of the next. There are all kinds of parts that she likes. By the time she reaches the end of the trail, she finally knows how to make the thing magnificent. She gets to work. She works carefully and slowly, tinkering and hammering and twisting and fiddling and gluing and painting. Her assistant makes sure there are no distractions. And everybody tries to help. The man says, "This looks like the perfect thing to ward off bears." The afternoon fades into evening, and finally she finishes. She alerts her assistant. Her assistant looks like he's just laying down on the job. And the pair take a good long look. And the thing leans a little bit to the left, and it's a little bit heavier than expected. And the color could use a bit of work too, but it's just what she wanted. They climb aboard and take it for a spin, and they are not disappointed because it really is the most magnificent thing. Well, what do you know? A scooter with a sidecar is the most magnificent thing. Perseverance. Perseverance, just trying over and over again. Even when we get discouraged, even when we get mad, just trying one more time. One more time. God gave us brains to use, you know. And sometimes the things that we think of aren't quite right. But there's always something that we learn that we can carry with us to the next thing, and the next thing, and the next thing. And there are some times that we just get it right. And it may not be pretty, and it may not be exactly what we thought we were going to get to begin with. But boy, when God gives us inspiration, it is a most magnificent thing. So as you are going through your days, Maybe you're doing some schoolwork, or you're like me, you're trying to kind of learn your way around and get to know people. You might make a stumble, you might make a mistake. But you know what? It's life. And life, this life that God has given us, is the most magnificent thing. So tonight, as we get ready to go to bed, and we get ready to say goodbye to the day, and we think back over our day today, we might see some things that maybe could use improvement and some things that we were really pleased with. But we can give thanks for all of it. We can give thanks for all of what life has to give and all of that God has given us in our lives. And if there are people that you pray for tonight, know that God holds those people in prayer with you. That the God who loves you and looks after you loves the people you pray for and looks after them too. So good night, everybody. I wish you a good night and a peaceful night and a beautiful tomorrow. Night.